Hi, this is Ben Parojcic with ReMax Above and Beyond, and welcome to Northeast Ohio Real Estate. Well, if you're wondering if inventory is growing on the market or actually shrinking, whether prices are going up or down, or whether it's still a good time to sell or a better time to buy, then this video is really for you because I am going to be covering the statistics that really bring this market into focus. And you're going to want to watch all the way to the end because I'm going to talk about my favorite statistic, which brings into sharp focus exactly what's happening in the marketplace. And it's a very good predictor of what's going to happen in the next 1 to 3 months as well. So with that said, let's dive right into the statistics here and see where we're at. The best place to start is active listings. So how many properties are active in Northeast Ohio? Actually, right here in Cuyahoga County. In June, we've got 2,777 active listings. In May, we had 2,506, and that means that listings went up 10.8%. That is not insignificant, and I suppose that's what we all wanted to see. We want to see some more inventory so buyers can buy some more property. But really, if we take a look back to June of 25, we see that this year's only a 3.43% increase from last year. So it's a little bit of an increase in inventory, but not too much. And if we looked at the closed sales next on this chart, we see that really the increase in inventory is probably not going to threaten price at all. Because if we looked at closed sales in June of 26, it was 1,343. In May, it was 1,256. So sold sales went up 6.9%. But get this. If you look back to June of 25, sold sales went up 9.28%. So I think that we're basically absorbing all the new supply pretty easily. So this is suggesting that we're still in a seller's market. If we take a look at the median sale price, that'll give us another angle on this. In June of 2026, the average sale price was $261,500, up 8.9% from May. That's huge for 1 month appreciation. Now you might say, well, that sounds really weird to have that much appreciation in a month, and it does, but here's why. Our appreciation mostly does take place between March and August, and then it's kind of flat for the rest of the year. So our prices are surging now because demand is really strong now during the summer months. And inventory has only gone up a little bit, not much to offset prices. So we're still surging throughout Cuyahoga County in terms of price. The next metric we want to look at is average days on the market, and that tells us how fast or slow things are selling. And if you take a look at June of 26, 17 days on the market, that's very, very fast. May of 26 was 15 days on the market. If you look back to June of 25, that was 17 days on the market. So this is a fast-moving market, and it's hard to argue otherwise. If you take a look at sale price versus list price, and this chart will really blow you away. If you take a look at this, it's up nearly up to 100% month after month after month. There's just not a lot of negotiating. And if you're a buyer and you're smart, you will realize that you don't have a lot of leverage in this market and that you shouldn't come in with low balls because you're just not going to get the house. You're not even going to get an audience with the seller. And if you're a seller, it's very smart for you to just kind of hold firm for a few days at least and try to get that higher number. It's funny, I had a house on the market in Parma just over the weekend, and I had an agent call me and say, well, would you be willing to come down in price? It's a little bit high for my buyer. Well, no, because I just got two other offers on it, over asking. So, you're kind of out of touch. So when you look at this chart, you know that, prices are very, very firm, and you're going to have to come in strong as a buyer, or as a seller, you're just going to have to kind of fold your arms and say, hey, you're going to have to do better. Now, this statistic is a little confusing when you take a look at the next statistic, which is price reductions. There are actually price reductions happening, and it's about 9.9%, let's call it 10% of homes in Cuyahoga County go through a price reduction. That's not insignificant. Well, if we're selling houses at nearly 100% of asking price, why are there any price reductions at all? Well, it's because a lot of agents and sellers practice aspirational pricing. Hey, the market is strong, let's try for a little bit more. But that doesn't often work. You have to kind of price it correctly. And once you do, it will sell for nearly what you price it at or at what you price it at. But pricing it too high is usually a prescription for having to lower it. And then once you lower it to the correct price, where the comps are, it does sell for darn near 100% of asking price. So that's why you're getting that 9% or 10% of the listings are being reduced, but yet homes are selling for 100% of asking price. So now really what we want to look at is my favorite statistic. This tells us everything we need to know for today and for the next few months. It's months of supply, or it's also known as absorption rate. And if you take a look at this chart, you can see over to the right near the trough, which is where we are, the months of supply is like 1.9 months of supply. And what that means is if we don't list any other homes, the current homes on the market will all be sold in 1.9 months. That's incredibly fast. And in fact, anything less than 3 months is considered a seller's market. And anything less than 2 months is considered a strong seller's market. So that's where we're at right now. We are in a strong seller's market. And since it is so low, under 2 months of supply, I believe that we can bank on the next 3 months being a seller's market. Why? Well, because it will take a little while for the math to switch. It'll take a while for this to become a weaker seller's market or a more balanced market. It just can't happen overnight. So for that reason, I think we can kind of forecast or predict that we're going to remain in a seller's market for at least 3 months. So what are the takeaways in this video? I think the takeaways are that inventory has indeed gone up a little bit, but based on active sales, the inventory is being absorbed. And same with time on the market and median pricing and months on the market all suggest that really the market hasn't slowed down at all, even though there's a little bit more inventory on the market. So what we're going to want to do in future months is keep an eye on active inventory, keep an eye on pendings, keep an eye on closed sales, and keep an eye on the months of supply. If we do that, we're always going to know, is it a buyer's market or is it a seller's market? And we're always going to know how to approach our negotiations, whether we're a buyer or a seller. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that it's kind of giving you a sense of where this market is at. And if you enjoyed this, remember to like, share, and subscribe. I'm Ben with ReMax, and I'll see you next time on Northeast Ohio Real Estate. Thanks.